I have a malignant peripheral nerve sheath tumor, so I've only got 6 months to live.
His first wish was to go skydiving. In order not to queue up, he even chartered the entire plane, but accidentally fell when landing. Luckily, there are no wounded animals. Deal with it briefly. He can continue to complete his bucket list, but the wife's next extreme pursuit of her dying husband, but strongly opposed, he had to pull out his own trump card.
Tell a dying guy he can't do what he wants to do.
No. But I didn't expect. His wife's indulgence soon sent him back to the hospital.
Hi, I'm Oliver. I have 6 months to live.
He used all his family's savings to buy a Ferrari. There was a car accident while racing, but he didn't care. He even wants his doctor to vaccinate him against tropical diseases. He wants to move into the jungle with his wife. The wife finally couldn't take it anymore. She complained that her husband had spent all his money without permission. She doesn't want to give up her current job. Go to the jungle and listen to the roar. The man said selfishly that she didn't want to die in the end. The money hasn't been spent yet. Wife disheartened, leave him, but even so, men don't get it either. Move into the jungle now. He returned to the hospital with skin herpes. He urged the doctor to cure him as soon as possible. Okay, go ahead and complete your hospital list. But now Sean noticed something unusual about him. He has terminal cancer. There's no way the head can move this well. Sean immediately arranged for him to be examined, and the results were astonishing. The herpes infection on his body went into the tumor, allowing tumors that had successfully avoided the immune system exposure. The body's immune system begins to fight cancer, and there have been initial victories. Wait until the tumor shrinks enough to be surgically removed.
You can go home.
He can be cured, can't hear yourself, can't live. The man has become melancholy. He doesn't have a home anymore. There we go. Are people alive? The money is gone, and the mother-in-law is gone. Sean, who never eats ice cream, take a big gulp and put the ice cream in your mouth. Eat until the ice cream stimulates severe brain pain. Just give up. But the pain in his brain excited him so much, he finally understood what the patient was describing. Pain level when swallowing food. Make him more certain. Women's illness is not so simple. Even a dancing expert say it's okay. But Sean still insisted on a series of tests to rule out the cause. Unexpectedly, it was strongly opposed by the director. He thinks there is no need for occasional physical reactions due to discomfort. Let the patient spend tens of thousands of dollars in inspection fees. He was concerned that this would lead to patient complaints.
Start her on Dilantin for her pain and send her home.
Bai just informed the woman that she can't be discharged from the hospital. The woman suddenly went into a trance. Then he passed out directly. The life monitor is a warning that she is in danger. The female colleague immediately prepares for a cord scan, an MRI to find the cause. But Sean is not in a hurry. A structural diagram of Sean's brain came to mind. She has found the cause.
3 cc's of 2% lidocaine.
The female colleague looked puzzled. I saw Sean take the syringe, then remove the woman's oxygen mask. He opened his mouth and injected the drug. Immediately, the woman woke up. Colleagues almost fell off when they saw this scene. Turns out the woman has ego syndrome. The base of the skull grows crystals longer than normal. The convex bone squeezed into her carotid artery caused a transient ischemic attack of the brain. All his previous physical discomfort. It is also caused by yin qi. Fortunately, this condition is difficult to diagnose, but it's not hard to treat. You just have to surgically remove the transprocessed bone. But despite miraculously saving a woman's life, Sean can be happy. The woman is an internet celebrity. Video of him giving Sean emergency treatment post online attracted countless little girls to pursue Sean, and it made Sean, who was autistic, very uncomfortable in the hospital to use internet celebrity effect for publicity. The main surgery opportunity for this surgery handed over to a young and beautiful female colleague, but I didn't expect an accident during the surgery. When the female doctor removed the tendon bone, the mistake injured the carotid artery. The woman was in danger. Fortunately, Sean was there to assist in time to avoid tragedy. Afterwards, the hospital tried to reduce the impact. Uniform caliber, hiding the medical malpractice. There is never absolute fairness in this world. All we can do is keep getting stronger. Maybe only so. To have the qualifications to know the truth. Boys will have their heads permed, but never breathed. Already 10 years old, but he never said a word to his parents. Original. His upper windpipe was underdeveloped in utero. The upper airway is completely blocked. So I have to rely on a catheter around my neck to breathe. And today is his happiest day because he can't finally get rid of this annoying catheter. The doctor decided to operate to unclog his windpipe, although still unable to speak, but he can't finally breathe normally in the future. But the parents look sad because the surgery is experimental. There are certain surgical risks, but the boy said, as long as you can't get rid of this tube in your throat, he would do anything. Fortunately, bad luck did not befall him again. The surgery went very well. The doctor slowly blocked his tracheal tube and let him try to take a deep breath. A smile appeared on the boy's face. Although it hurts, but he never felt this. It's better than Sean looking at a sensible boy, but I can be happy. He made up his mind. He needs to find a way to get him to talk. He consulted a large number of medical books. Suddenly, he thought of something.
He also snores really loud.
He raised the vocal cords. It's not the only way a person can make sounds with their mouth. When people snore, the soft palate tissue vibrates and makes sounds, although not enough to replace the vocal cords. But instead of using his vocal cords, he could use his costal cartilage. Can't do this, it destroys organs that have just been repaired. This certainly increases the risk of surgery significantly. After parents hear it, and he refused the surgery, rather than being able to speak, they would rather have their own children. You can live on, can be autistic. Tran, who is also different, has a different opinion.
He'll always be limited. It'll be difficult to make friends, to interact with strangers.
When Sean said this, makes feelings in my heart because that's what happened to him as a child. But that didn't change the parents' decision, and the boy just watched it all in silence. Discharge day, Sean asked the boy to go home. Are you happy? The boy nodded, but he looked melancholy. He finally mustered up the courage. He told his parents that Dr. Sean was right. Even with the trachea removed, he's still an outlier. He can make friends. He didn't want to act stupid all the time. Hearing the true feelings of my son, parents finally agreed to the surgery. The boy was brought to the operating table. Sean first removed 2 parts of the costal cartilage from his ribs, and then you grind it into the right shape. Then it was slowly lowered into the boy's throat. The surgery was completed flawlessly. After a period of recovery, the doctor guides the boy. Tried to make some noise. The boy slowly blocked the windpipe around his neck. That's the most beautiful voice I've ever heard. This doctor is only responsible for performing surgery, said a bad mood and the patient on the table hears this and stops doing it on the spot. There is a lot of blood flowing out of the nostrils without warning. Doctors began emergency treatment, but in just 10 seconds, the patient stopped bleeding. Afterwards, Sean stood alone next to the deceased. I thought it had nothing to do with me. He was determined to find out the true cause of his patient's death. Sean finds the director, requests for an autopsy on the body. Decomposing the corpse requires the consent of the family. And here's the tragedy. The woman is anonymous. The hospital has no personal information about him. All I know is that when he was taken to the hospital, I kept shouting a man's name, but Sean didn't give up. Sean found a former police colleague. With the help of colleagues, it was found that the woman had a son and successfully found his address. The two immediately drove to, but what everyone didn't expect was learning the news of his mother's death. This dutiful son is actually indifferent. It doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want. Now Sean got his wish. He rushed back to the hospital immediately. An autopsy on a woman's corpse, except for the bluebird tattoo on the ankle. Nothing unusual was found. Are women really dying for themselves? Sean can accept it. Then they took out the liver of the deceased and studied it. And suddenly, Shane Francie, he got it. He knows the true cause of this woman's death, no matter what time it is. Knocking on the door of the deceased son again, Sean told the man his mother had 3 aneurysms in her liver. This is an extremely rare form of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It's a recessive and deadly genetic disease, so Sean suspects that men are now also. There must be corresponding symptom inertia if you seek medical attention in time. This disease can be cured. I heard the man finally open the door. Is this my mother who doesn't love me? Is the only thing left for me? It turns out that mother and son are incompatible. No contact for over 10 years. Sean didn't answer him directly. Ask the man if your nickname is Bluebird. That's the only thing your mother said before she died. He also has a bluebird tattoo on his ankle. I heard this man choke up for a while. How can a mother not love her child? Maybe he also has his own secrets. Distance runner, 28 years old but can't walk. The average person falls once every 2 steps. Physical weakness, it made it even harder for him to breathe. In 5 years, he went to dozens of specialists, but I couldn't find out what caused him. And he found Shane. Sean said there are 98 tests that need to be done for him to find out the cause. But the woman said no, saying that he took out hundreds of inspection reports over the past 5 years. Sean immediately said that I took the job. Then day and night, started a study of women's medical records. Sean would know as soon as he makes a move. Soon he had the answer.
Intracranial hypotension.
This disease in women's headaches, consistent with increased dizziness when standing up straight, and Sean found out woman gave birth to baby 5 years ago, just started to show this symptom, most likely during childbirth. Severe intracranial pressure causes a leak of spinal fluid. It is recommended to inject fluid into the woman's spine for treatment, but if the judgment is wrong, women get really bad headaches and increased intracranial pressure. But the woman accepted the treatment without hesitation. She was desperate to get healthy, but even a genius doctor, Sean also misdiagnoses, injecting fluid into a woman's body. Then her heart rate started to skyrocket. Lives were at stake. The doctor did an emergency lumbar puncture, drain effusion. This saved her life, but Sean is a little confused because even if your own treatment is wrong, she should have a headache or a reduced heart rate. What caused her heart to beat violently? Just then, Sean has made a new discovery.
Are you feeling overheated?
Sean noticed that the woman was sweating, but the temperature on the life monitor is normal. Sean seems to have guessed the answer. He immediately arranged for an MRI of the woman. Sure enough, the imaging shows women have an area of their adrenal glands that is brightly colored. This means that the amount of radioactive material absorbed in the water has increased, causing adrenaline overdose. Make his glands produces the same effect as a tumor. But although the cause was found, unfortunately, there is only one cure for this disease, and that's removing the adrenal glands. Even if the surgery can be completed successfully, he will also spend the rest of his life in therapy. There can also be many deadly complications. Even so, women, even